Hello YouTubers, my name is X Factor and today we're going to be talking about several controversial features within Battlefield 4 that were implemented by design. We're not going to be talking about glitches or bugs. That covers netcode, rubber banding, hit registration, and anything else wrong with the actual implementation of things in Battlefield 4. We're going to talk about things that are here by design. And I want this to be a two-way conversation. Usually on my channel, I do tips, tricks, guides, tutorials, and breakdowns. It's kind of a one-way conversation. But today I want to know, what would you change? How would you change it? And how do you think the game would be different? And I've pre-picked a couple topics, and I'll explain them as we go. Today we're going to be talking about the AC-130, the retooled Ship Gunship, optic sway, visual recoil, body armor, screen shake, and base camp AA. The re-implementation of the Ship Gunship received a slight buff to several of the 3 weapons available on it, but it's also got some potential issues surrounding it. First and foremost, the Ship Gunship, if the team possesses the point, traditionally respawns within 2 to 3 seconds. It's almost instant. So if you manage to get the gunship down and the team still possesses the point, it's coming right back up again. The next issue is several of the maps, especially on Naval Strike, there are not jets, which are easily equipped to deal with it. You have to SRAW it, smart RPG it, lock onto it with an Igla, or use your TV missiles, which only hit for 20. It can take a beating. And of course, if you do manage to get it killed, it's coming back up instantly. The other problem is a lot of servers do not have 2 commanders at one time. It's usually just one commander for one team, and the other team is left out of a commander slot. So that is a big time advantage that one team may have. Not to mention that the damage that the Ship Gunship does. The primary weapon, the big cannon, if it gets hold of an attack boat, it's going to do 50 plus damage, and it's a critical immobilization, meaning that attack boat can't move. So if the second or third gun is looking at it, it's definitely dead, whether there's a follow-up from the primary cannon or not. And then we're going to hint at what that means to screen shake. I've got some footage sitting on my hard drive where I've had a little fun in the Ship Gunship, and I've been on the receiving end of what screen shake feels like as my screen is shaking now. If one or more of those guns is anywhere near you, your screen is absolutely shaking out of control, and it really messes you up if you're trying to get in a gunfight. Am I saying get rid of the screen shake? Absolutely not. But it might be just a little bit too much. The next topic we're going to be talking about is optic sway, which is a byproduct of suppression. And we've broken it down before based on the range of what weapon you're using, whether an assault rifle, carbine, LMG, PDW, or bolt action. It kicks in at different amounts of bullets being spewed your way. Now the issue with this is it can really mess up your shot, especially if you're using shotgun slug, a bolt action, or a revolver. It kicks in, and it does not stop until that sway is gone, and then your crosshair locks back to the 0 point mid-sway. So it can really mess you up if you're using a weapon like the Scar H, a slower shooting gun, or again, the revolvers or bolt actions. So that's something. Now there's something else that can mess up your shot. It's called visual recoil, which probably needs a little bit of an explanation. As you zoom in with an optic, whether it's reflex, cobra, 4 times, coyote, anything, you're going to see your optic dancing around. The red dot, well, that is not a true visualization of where the actual gun is shooting, believe it or not. It has this left to right motion back and forth, which is not true to where the bullets are actually going. And if you need more information on that, that is out there. My question is this: should the red dot, should the optic be true to where the gun is actually shooting? Of course, it'd be violently dancing around, but it should be true to that. The next is body armor from the defensive perk. Now, it's a 7% reduction to chest damage from pistols, carbines, LMGs, assault rifles, bolt actions, and shotgun slugs. So what does that mean? It can often mean the difference of you eating 1 extra bullet, whether it's from a pistol, carbine, assault rifle, or LMG. That's survivability. Now, it also affects shotgun slugs and bolt actions quite a bit. If you're being beat up by shotgun slug or bolt action at point blank range, they cannot one-shot you in the chest. It will take a follow-up with the pistol or rechamber another round and shoot again. The question is this: does that bring too much randomization to the game? Is somebody using body armor? Do I have to overshoot? Am I overshooting? Did that take too long to lock on to another target because I don't know if that guy's dead or not? So it's a lot of randomization there. So we talked about this earlier. Screen shake. Screen shake is integral to Battlefield 4. But the question is it too much? Oftentimes it feels like when I'm running and gunning with an assault rifle, carbine, LMG, or pistol, something can happen in the background and my optic goes somewhat haywire. Now, if shit is hitting the fan, should your screen be shaking? Absolutely. But remember, there are times where shit is hitting the fan and the screen is going absolutely nuts, or specific maps near MCOMs, choke points, or specific maps in general where the screen shake is an absolute given and you signed up for that 100%. And I'm not talking about Metro or Lockers because that's an absolute given if you're playing an explosive server there. But every single map has spots. On this map, it's specifically C and D and Conquest size large, or if you get closer to any set of MCOMs. These points exist on every single map, and they can really mess with the gunfights that are in Battlefield 4. And the last topic that we're going to be talking about is Base Camp AA. The anti-air has been nerfed several times over, and the adjustments have been well called for. Now the question is this, and this is a common thing still. A lot of times you see an AA user stay in their uncap, as in the enemy vehicles, tanks, LAVs, jets most likely can't get to them. They're in the back of their map within safety to their own team. So what's the counter to that? How do you counter that? The question is, do you make them get within a certain proximity of the area in which their uncap ends, or do you make it so that they simply can't shoot at all? That one is a hard one to fix. At the end of the day, when we're talking about these 5 different things, most of them affect the gunplay and gameplay within Battlefield 4. My big thing has always been put the shooter back in the shooter as I get some screen shake from a very far explosion. I'm all about gunplay first, the mechanics behind them, and then of course add in the extra stuff. The stuff that makes you feel alive and feel in the game. But it's got to be within reason. As always, YouTubers, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And please let me know what you would change down below. If you wouldn't change anything, if you would change them all, and specifically what you think about this.